Hey YouTube, Cam again. I'm coming at you with another fragrance review. This is kind of unprecedented. Don't think up to this point I've done two reviews or two videos in a single day, at least not fragrance videos. So it's a good opportunity to review a cheapie but a goodie, one that I definitely don't think deserves a ton of hype. But honestly, I've only heard one person mention it, Kerosene, in his video when he was kind of going through his fragrance collection, and he lifted this up as one of the ones that he had, and actually I think he said that he didn't really like it that much. And you know what? That's fine. To each their own. We've all got our own opinion. I actually blind bought this, I guess, more or less years ago. You can see that I've used a lot of juice. I don't have the box for it. I got this back before I was actually collecting fragrances, and used it quite a bit. Now, I'm sorry, I guess I should introduce the scent. The scent is, let me see if I can get it to focus. Still getting used to my new camera here, and there we go. So it's Phat Farm. I'm sorry, it's Atman by Phat Farm, and I don't know that it actually says Atman anywhere on here. And here's the cap. Boy, I'm really got to get used to this camera. But Atman by Phat Farm, you're really not going to find much on this. I don't think you're going to find any other reviews on this on YouTube. You're going to have a hard time finding much of anything on YouTube about this. You will find just a really short, a couple videos that are really, I think, just like a 30-second commercial or a 15-second commercial for this. And Phat Farm, for any of you who don't know, Phat Farm is, I believe, Russell Simmons' designer brand for clothing and fragrances and all that type of thing. And for those of you who have no idea who Russell Simmons is, Russell Simmons was one of the, I think, founders of Def Jam Records. So, kind of iconic, if you will, and more or less the hip-hop industry. Don't know that he's really doing much of that anymore, but he started Phat Farm, and this is one of the scents that he released. This particular scent was released in 1998. Good luck finding much information about it online. Honestly, I guess I should have done the obvious thing and went to Phat Farm's website to see if they have any information on it. You're not going to find anything on this on Fragrantica. I did find very, very little information on base notes. Base notes had at least the name and the year it was released, but the perfumer, it said unknown. So, I don't know. Interestingly enough, where I found the information that I've got on this particular fragrance, was on fragrancex.com, which is, it's been my experience that decent place to buy fragrances from. I bought a number of fragrances from Fragrance X at this point, and they've all, as far as I can tell, have been authentic, good quality. So no bad experiences there. And according to fragrancex.com, you've got top notes of bergamot and aquatic notes. You've got mid of caraway, lavender, and sage. And then you've got base notes of sandalwood, musks, and suede. So I don't know if the notes give you a feel for the fragrance. It really is just a classic men's fragrance. Very musky, very smooth. It probably smells a lot like something that maybe your dad would have worn or your grandpa would have worn. But honestly, I really like it. I started wearing fragrances years and years ago when I was a little kid, and it was really me putting on my dad's cologne, and his English leather. I think he might have even had Elsha. I can't remember for sure. I think he had Old Spice at one point as well. But, wearing his Elsha to school and stuff like that. So, honestly, these classic male fragrances that are really musky and, smell kind of dated but still just smell good, that's, I'm okay with them. And that's kind of what you get with this. You just get a classic men's musky fragrance that's just very smooth and it smells good. This is nothing that's going to blow your mind by any means, especially if you have a lot of fragrances and have smelled a lot of fragrances. I used to like this a lot more than I do now because I hadn't really expanded my palette, if you will. I hadn't smelled a lot of different things and kind of, I don't know, refined that sense, if you will. So now when I smell this, it still smells good. It's just a good, safe scent, but it's kind of boring too. You know, there's nothing special about it. It's just a good classic men's musky fragrance. So I just wanted to do a review on it because, like I said, I haven't seen a single review on this. It's understandable why there hasn't been a single review on this. It's not a phenomenal scent, but beautiful thing about it, and one of the reasons why I felt like it needed to be reviewed, other than the fact that there wasn't anything out there, is this is a cheapie. You know, this is something that if you like classic men's fragrances, you know, you can go ahead and blind buy this bad boy, and you probably won't be too disappointed by it. Even if you don't like it, you know, you're only dropping, let's see, on Fragrance X, for a 50 milliliter, you're $18.60. On Fragrance Net for a 50 milliliter, you're $18.79, and a lot of the times Fragrance Net is just going to give you a 15% coupon for the fragrance. So you're really not a lot out of pocket to blind buy this thing. I would not blind buy it if you don't like classy, musky fragrances. You know, it's something, like I said, that maybe your dad would have worn or your grandpa would have worn. If you like those, I think this is a safe buy for you, and it's very reasonable, very affordable. I did, as far as projection is concerned, I really don't think you're going to get a lot of projection out of this. But it is a nice, pleasant scent. This isn't something that's really going to offend a lot of people or anything like that. So I really feel like you can wear this to the office. I probably wouldn't wear this in extreme heat if you're going to be outside. I mean, I think anytime you're going to be in an air-conditioned environment, you're fine. So, you know, once again, back to the office. Probably wouldn't wear it in extreme heat. And because you're not getting a lot of projection, you know, you're just really not going to offend anybody. Plus, it's just a good scent. You know, it just smells good. And then as far as longevity is concerned, actually really good longevity. Last time I wore this, it got me all the way through a work day, and I could still smell it on myself when it was time to go home. So I got 10 plus hours out of this bad boy last time I wore it. So good longevity, not the greatest projection, but just a good, safe, masculine, classy, classic men's fragrance, and a cheapie. So what you're going to get from this, you're going to get muskiness in the top. You know, for the first, maybe little while, you're probably going to be able to pick up a little bit of that bergamot. But it's kind of like what you get from the citrus opening in Musc Ravageur, because honestly, Musc Ravageur to me is just boom, it's musk, right out the gate, and then of course you get a lot of clove. You really have to look for the citrus. You have to look for the citrus in this as well. It's kind of the same effect. It's kind of the same citrusy feel that you get from Musc Ravageur. It's almost like the citrus is there, but you have to look for it because it's just being enveloped by this cloud of muskiness. You're going to get the same thing from this, but this is just really smooth. It's musky. It's good stuff. It's safe. It's cheap. What would I rate this on a scale of 1 to 10? I'd probably give it a 7. I think that's a good solid score. For me, that's a good solid score. That's not a great score. Anybody who's been watching my videos, hopefully you know now on my scale of 1 to 10, 7 and 8 is the dividing line. Anything 7 and below is going to be good fragrance or not. Anything 8 and above is a great fragrance. This is a 7, okay? And for $18.60 or $18.79, potentially with a 15% coupon, I think that's worth it for a 7, solid 7 that's going to get you really good longevity and is going to be just a nice, safe, good, classic scent. So that's my review on Atman by Phat Farm. And thanks so much. Rate, comment, subscribe, and thanks so much.